Okay, a very good morning or good evening to everyone, depending on where you are. And today is 1st of October and today is Friday. So I'm going to do some trade because I just updated a video a couple of hours ago that update my September record. So right now we are in on October and the market has just opened and I'm going to do some live trade, but let us take a look at some of the topic that I have. So let's take a look. Is now a good time to invest, and does averaging down works? So if not now, then when is the time to invest? For me, I always like to be in the market, and I only long the market generally. So I don't short the market, and I always like to keep enough firepower to accumulate more stock if the market were to come down without trying to second guess. So I'm not trying to predict to pick a top or bottom because we can never ever do it. So I like to maintain a overall long position. The reason is because the stock market is always up. Always. If you look at the history for the United States, the stock market is always up. Even when there is a recession, there's a correction, then the market will always go back up and make a new high. That is why I always like to maintain a long position. So the question is, what if I am already in position? Then do you have any more capital to buy more? If you don't have any more capital to buy, then there's very little thing that you can do. What you can do is to close out the bad one, take the loss, and move the fund or capital to a more potential one. Or you'll just hold it out and wait it out because the stock market is always up in the end. Remember this. And if you do not have any position, that's great. And now is a good time. The time to get into the market is always now and not tomorrow and not yesterday. So waiting for the perfect time to invest will never work. So we try to average out our position, whether the market come down or go up. What if I'm worried a crash is coming? Because right now we are in the October, and October is generally not a good trading month for the stock market. And if you're always worried on a crash or correction, then you'll have a very hard time to trade. What you can do is don't trade until you feel the market is strong, and then by the time the stock market may be at the all-time high, and then you have all the good news, but would you be able to pull a trigger on that? So what is my plan right now? I'm going to allocate 10 to 20,000 to buy some stock today. I'm not going to use up all my capital to buy the stock. So I'm prepared to load up to 100 share if I can. Because by having 100 share, then I can turn around and do a covered call for this particular stock or the stock that I'm going to buy. And I try to accumulate to buy more if the market will come down. Averaging down on my cost until I have 100 share, and then I'll turn around and do a covered call. Which is why I'm going to allocate only 10 to 20,000 today and not going to allocate more because I always want to keep some capital in case the market make a further dive to the downside. And if you look at the market today or yesterday, then the market have a lot of bad news because when the market is down, the news is bad. When the market is up, the news is good. There's nothing new about this. So when you see the market coming down today and you look at the CNBC, that's full of bad news. Don't predict top and bottom. So I'm going to enter a portion of my capital today. Probably I will say 20 to 30% to buy the stock. And then if the market drop another 10%, or if the stock drop another 10%, then I'll buy into it another 20 to 30%. And if the market drop another 10%, which means to say that the market have dropped about 30%, then I'll buy up the rest of the fund to convert their position into a covered call. But by then, if the market were to drop 10, the market will have dropped 30%. I think any stock would look to be a good buy at that point of time. And what is a better time than to accumulate the stock at a low price? So what will happen after I enter the position? If the market continue to drop, my account will continue to lose money. Remember, I'm long the market in generally. So if the market were to drop, then my account will drop as well. But I'll be buying more. And that is a better way to own a stock at rock bottom. But what if the market move up from here, from today, and the market start to go up? Then at least I have some position in it and I benefit from the up move. So that is my plan. So what stock to buy? I'm going to buy some blue chips, index ETF or ETF. Now it's not the time to buy second or third liner stock. This is not the time because the market has a minor correction, I would say, probably about 3 to 5% from the high right now. So what stock to buy? I don't have actually a list of stock in mind, but these are generally what I'm looking at tonight. AMD, Apple, SPY, IWM, eBay, TSM, ARKK, Microsoft, just to name a few. I'm not going to buy all of this. I'm just going to pick a few and buy because like I say, I'm going to use up about 10 to 20,000 of my capital to buy. So I can't be buying every one of it unless I'm going to buy one share. But my purpose is to accumulate all these shares until I have 100 shares, because once I have 100 shares, I can turn it around and do a covered call. So let's take a look at the market right now. And if you take a look at the ES, so the ES is around the same as yesterday closing. There's not much movement. But the pre-market, there's a drop and then there's an up. So, but right now, at this timing, the ES is just about there. Then the question is always, should I be buying right now? Or should I, because this is the month of October, and October is generally a bad month, then should I wait one more month into November? And then we start buying in November because that will be better if October is a bad month. But we can never predict the market because the market could have picked off from here. And by the time if you come back in November, what if the market make a new high and break the previous high of 4,549? And when you come back in November, the market is at 4,006. Then all the stock will be at pretty high price. Would you be comfortable to buy it? If you are, then that's fine. Or how about, let's wait for some confirmation. Because whatever you're using, if you're using stochastic or you're using a moving average, how about we wait for the better signal, or you're using a candlestick. Let's wait for a bullish candlestick before we go in. Yes, you can do that. But for me, generally, I don't try to predict the market. So I'm just going to use up 10 to 20,000 of my fund to buy, because right now I have an option buying power of 50,000. So with 50,000, because mine is a margin account, so I can actually use up to 100,000. But of course, I'm not going to spend all this money to buy. I need to prepare. What if the market continue to drop? Then my account will suffer. That's why I'm going to use only 10 to 20,000 today to buy. Okay, so I think I'm going to buy Apple because I like Apple stock pretty much. And Apple, the previous highs was 157. So I think that's fine. I'm going to buy Apple. Okay, I'm not going to sell any put because by selling a put right now, then I will have to accumulate 100 shares if I'm assigned. Because to me right now, the market could drop further. I don't know, because right now from 4,005 to 4,003, I think is attractive enough for me to go in. But being in the month of October, the market could drop another 100 point or even 200 or 300 point to 4,000 level. That we don't know. But the market could have bottomed out from here and move on. So I'm just playing safe. So I just want to accumulate some share and diversify. So I'm not going to sell a put on Apple, because by selling a put on Apple, then if Apple were to come down, I will have to use up about $14,000 to buy Apple, because right now Apple is at 140. So I would use up 14,000 of my capital. Then I can only play one stock. So right now for Apple, my plan was to buy probably 20 share of it. So I'm just going to buy 20 share of it, and let's take a look at, I will just buy at the market because there wasn't much difference and I don't like to queue. So if I were to buy at the market, then I will use up about $840 for 20 share because I'm using a margin account. So that is what I'm going to do. Buying 20 share of Apple. And then the next stock I probably wanted to get in was maybe AMD, because I play AMD before and I like AMD pretty much. So AMD was about 101. So 20 share of AMD, that would cost me about 2,000. Yeah, that is cheaper than Apple. So that's what I'm going to do, buying 20 share of the AMD at the market. Since I always talk about the S&P 500, then why don't I buy the SPY? Okay, SPY is at $420. To own 100 share of SPY, that would cost me 43,000. Then if I were to do that, then basically I can't be doing any other trade if I want to accumulate SPY to 100 share, unless I'm talking about just buying 20 share of SPY and leave it there. But ultimately I want to turn the position into a covered call if the market were to come down. I mean, if the market were to go up, then there's no issue whether my position is covered call or just long the stock. But I always try to turn it into a covered call. So I'm going to give SPY a pass because my trading account was too small to own 100 share of the SPY. So if I'm not going to trade the SPY, then the replacement will be either IWM or QQQ. But what I want to do is probably I'm going to look at the ARK Invest by KDU. And for the ARK fund, I generally only keep track of this ARKK. So with ARKK at $110, so I'm going to buy 20 share of it. So right now I'm done for 2 stock and 1 ETF. So I have used up about probably, let's count, 20 share of this is about 2002, and then 2000, and then 2008. So let's buy a couple of more stock that I personally like. So eBay is one of them that I like. So I'm going to buy eBay. Just buying 20 share of it. And then I'm probably going to pick another 1 or 2 more stock. And we are probably done with it. Let's take a look at my list again. So maybe TSM. TSM is the same characteristic of AMD, but I pretty much like them. So let's do the TSM. So today I've just buy into 4 stock and 1 ETF, and by my rough calculation I should have spent about $10,000 on this, although my margin use up is about 3,000 to 4,000. In fact, the more margin that the TD Ameritrade give me, the more interest I have to pay, and the interest is quite a high one. By opening a margin account, you agree to pay them the interest. So unless you use a full cash account, if I want, I probably can just buy into 1 or 2 more stock, probably another 1 more stock. But I think I'm okay for now because I've loaded about 100 shares for today. And if the market were to dive further down, then I have plenty of chance to buy again. So if ES were to drop another 100 point or 150 point, then I would have another chance to buy again. But because I need to watch out my net liquidation, if the market were to come down further, then my net liquidation were to drop more, and my all this open position will have a loss. So I need to watch out for it, so I don't want to be too aggressive. So I think I'm done for now, and I'm happy to own all this stock. And we'll see as the week progress how the market go. If the market were to go up, then I'll just leave all this stock alone, and then when it reach a good price, then I'll just let it go. But if the market were to come down further, then I will average down. And today I'm buying 20 shares of all this stock. The next round I probably buy 30, and then followed by another 50. And by the time I load up 100 shares, I think my account will have been maxed out. And then I'll turn around and do a covered call. So that's all for today's update. Maybe I just update one more slide. So these are the stock that I do today. So 20 shares each: AMD, Apple, ARKK, TSM, and eBay. And these are my purchase price. I don't usually look at it because for me, I'll just take a look at the net liquidation and then look at the overall P&L. So that's all for today's update. And if you like the video, please subscribe and share. Thank you. I will see you on the next video. I'll be doing more video from this month onwards. Thank you.